Well, hey EVTV, this is Anne Kopworth with your EVTV Amsterdam update. This week we're going to start off with some news on our big shipment coming in from EVTV over to the Amsterdam warehouse. Sadly, even though all the documents were in order and Jack and Brian had gotten all the dangerous goods certification stuff out of the way for us, so thanks guys. We had booked a ticket on the cruise, the Hanjin Phoenix, coming out of Norfolk, USA, was all ready to take the container. But alas, this week the stuff wasn't picked up because we could not secure a driver for the overland portion from Missouri over to Norfolk in, I believe it's Virginia. Got to look up my topography there. So we have, looking at about a week's delay there, as it's going to be picked up next week. Sorry Jack and Brian for having this stuff sitting there in your probably quite full warehouse loading area. We hope to get that stuff moving as soon as possible, especially to serve the builds that are about to start here in the EU using those Better Place packs. I know there's a couple of gents in Ireland and UK that are waiting to get this stuff, so sorry guys, I'll be updating you on what the next ship itinerary is and get the stuff here as quick as we possibly can. For ourselves, it also means a delay on some of the projects we have going. We are using two of the packs. One is going to the customer that we've seen before on EVTV, the one with the beautiful little light blue Beetle, the classic Beetle. It has a pack of failing GBH high power batteries. We've already changed a few in and out now and again. And with the good weather coming, the guy wants a fresh new pack. It'll be a little lighter, it'll have more range, and this way he'll be more confident letting his wife take the kids out in the Beetle and shining out and about and not getting cold with a failing or smoking battery pack. So we're going to get your reminders hooked up with a Better Place pack, and another pack is going to one of our customers that runs a shipyard and is refurbishing a saloon boat. So there will be a classic Amsterdam saloon boat powered by formerly Better Place batteries. Anyways, all that is going to be a little later in April than we originally hoped for. On that shipment, it's not just the Better Place packs, we're doing a full container this time. It's our first container load. This might be adding to why we have the delays going on as well. Anyway, so it's our first full container load, and next to the Better Place packs, 10 of those, there's going to be a lot of resupply of EVTV store goods, so we're getting more of the fuses, contactors, DC-DC converters, stuff that we were running out of stock on, and stuff that's already been committed to different projects here in the EU, stuff going to Croatia, to England, and a few things, bits and bobs here to Amsterdam. Also in that shipment are a couple of full DMOC Siemens JevQ combinations. Okay, we seem to have lost our audio there, failing batteries on our mic. So it's going to be just me and the main camera and a bit of a reverb on the audio. Hope you all can hear us though. Anyway, so I was talking about the new Siemens DMOC JevQ units coming over to Amsterdam. This year we'll finally start seeing that liquid-cooled AC package out in the field. Different builds are already underway, of course, on the EVTV USA side. Jack has been shipping JevQ units for a while now, so we're really looking forward to getting some, in-the-field reports of Siemens-powered, JevQ-powered, DMOC-powered vehicles tearing down the lane. Here on the European side, we know that Davey Maguire is playing with the Siemens, but definitely still in the controller operation programming phase. And then, of course, we have Celso and Paolo, and I hope they're getting a move on their RX-8 Mazda project to see what that's going to be like. So in the rest of this year, as reports start flowing in on what this baby and this setup can do, I think, like Jack has said before, it'll definitely be a motivating force and an enabler of many new projects and possibilities that maybe they weren't there before, as this holy grail, the AC water-cooled system, complete and for under $10,000 or euros, now has been reached and can start showing what it can actually do. We definitely, since we were displaying this at the HISFA Boat Show this week, I had a couple of different opportunities to go to different shipyards, different interested parties. Everybody very much intrigued by this exact same package, as that it allows a new kind of build. So we visited taxi boats in Rotterdam. I was there yesterday. They have a fleet of slightly larger taxi boats, 12 men capacity, that go really fast, and they've got like 400 horsepower diesels in there. Now that's not quite what we can deliver with this package, nor with the battery capacity as it stands. But as an addition to that fleet, they also have 5 much cuter, what we call auto boats here, the nice runabout shape, the Palm Bay Cruiser with the engine in front of the passenger cabin bay. Now these lines on this boat, and I'll be showing them to you now, are much more akin to what we see in the Delta and the Silverback. And the shape of the hull in this case is very much what we call a halfgeleider, so more displacement hull. The power levels in this boat are, it's about 45, 50 horsepower continuous, probably about 60, 70 peak. So that's, definitely something the Siemens can do. And we're looking at for them if they can take a complete system with the Siemens 100 amp hour batteries and a generator extension, range extender set. So that they can have a continuous workload of 8-9 hour days. So here's a first opportunity to start looking at professional systems for professional customer, that if they do one and they like it, they'll be looking at getting 4, 5, 6 of these systems in the next time. Who knows? Deals in the air. Might happen, might not. Next to that, we also looked at a Lemster Aak, which is a classic Dutch boat that sails around the IJsselmeer area. They're looking to completely do away with their diesel system, but do need serious peak performance, as when they're coming in and out of harbor and they've got a heavy boat, they need to be able to use that traction and against the tide and against the wind get in. So short bursts of high power. At the same time now, looking at completely sealed AC systems has made these people be interested in going full electric. And finally, there's a slightly more cruising cabrio, what we call an open cabrio boat, that's looking at doing the Siemens in a double drive configuration with 2 stern drive units. So, a lot of new people coming to check out our wares through the boat show and through the availability of this new drivetrain. Definitely very excited about that. Part of what we can now also start looking at, and that I'd be very interested to see if EVTV EU viewers have experience with this, where you take a new system, get it automotive ready, and then also make sure that you are ready to start plugging into the new automotive style of charging network and infrastructure that is definitely being installed here in Holland. I know they're busy in Germany, Switzerland. There's a lot of places where the new Type 2 Mennekes and going forward the Type 3 SAA combo plug is going to be the standard. That means I like to start getting experiences, and we'll do it with the 818, where we get the Type 2 vehicle side inlet port so that we can connect into the Type 2 infrastructure that is there, and also offer a Type 2 EVSE charging capacity for your shop or your home, or at the workplace if you'd want to be installing it yourself. So the combination of having this new automotive grade sealed AC system, having more infrastructure, having a large array of battery options for a lot of different vehicles, it's definitely going to make a lot of stuff happen this year, it seems, on the EU side. I mean, with these battery options, the Siemens system, let's say that your peak power is going to come if you are running, say about 120 lithium iron phosphate cells in series, about 380 volt, 430, 440 on your charge volt cutoff. You could start a system like this with even the 40 amp hour batteries, be able to attain more or less peak power for short bursts in a light vehicle. 120 of these, you'd be looking at about 15 kilowatt hours of capacity and only about 200 kilos of weight. Plus the form factor will allow it to go into quite a small car with small spaces. Doing the 60s, if you have 120 of the 60 amp hours, you got 23 kilowatt hours, and you'll keep it under 250 kilos of weight. 23 kilowatt hours in a light vehicle, you could definitely start looking towards that 80 to 100 mile range. Add, the 22 kilowatt charging infrastructure, and you start to be, relatively, well-ranged kind of vehicle. For the slightly larger vehicles that will be drawing higher currents and that have more space to put stuff away, you can look at the 100 amp hour cell. 120 of these would do you at about 38 kilowatt hours and keep you under about 375 kilos. You definitely need more volume to put this in, but as more of the total vehicle weight will be in batteries, you'll have that longer range with the 38 kilowatt hours. You could definitely be looking at 150 to 200 kilometers of range, even in a slightly porky vehicle, or start doing something good in a slightly larger boat. The 180s is probably going to be overkill for anything but buses and trucks. Then again, on the boat side, where the volume and the weight is less of a problem, the fact that you can get almost 70 kilowatt hours without having to parallel any cells, just putting 120 of these in series, you'd be at 650 kilos, and with 70 kilowatt hours to play with, you really have a very decent range, especially in the boat where you derate this motor on kilowatts, but really just use the torque in the low end and go at slow boating speeds. You get full work days with a complete setup like that. So this is what we're offering for the Lemster Ack and the Cabrio boat that we talked about earlier. So hey, with all these products coming along, we're very excited about what we can start building this year and the builds that we can help kickstart here on the EU side of things. Do make sure that we start getting reports in from the field. People doing stuff with Siemens and JevQs. I'm looking out for kind of performance figures people are getting there, and definitely anybody on the EU side that's working with Type 2 integration. What chargers are we using? What vehicle standards are we using? What's your experience plugging in your own conversion along the way in public infrastructure? Definitely be interested in hearing from you. We'll be having our own projects and products trying to do that same thing. So anyways, from Amsterdam, this is Anna saying, you keep building. We'll definitely keep building, and I'll catch you next week, guys. Bye-bye.